Verse 567. When it is said that there is something resembling body, property and abode, produced in a dreamlike manner, a mind indeed is seen under the aspect of duality. But mind itself is not dualistic. In the previous verse we had the distinction between mind with a small m and mind with a capital M. Although in the previous verse it was called mind only. And mind only is simply the same as mind with a capital M. So this verse follows on in spirit from the previous verse, and if you haven't watched the previous video, it might be a good idea to do so. It was very much concerned with the distinction between mind with a small m and mind with a capital M. And it's mind with a capital M that we as enlightenment practitioners keep coming back to. And there's a tension here. It's difficult. It's like we're swimming upstream, because there are all these things that we need to attend to. In the previous video I described how awareness projects itself outwards in the form of the attention. In this way it creates notions of an external world which is perceived by the senses, by a perceiver here. And those things which our attention is constantly being diverted to fall under the heading here of body, property and abode. This is a set list which appears frequently in these verses. Body, property and abode, well, they're the triple world. These are what demand our attention. These are our concerns, to do with survival, to do with safety, establishing boundaries, to do with feathering our nest. This is body, property and abode. And we can go through our whole life with body, property and abode as our sole concern. But it tells us here that this list of body, property and abode is produced in a dreamlike manner, because it is the work solely of the attention. It is the attention, when faced with this great flow of experience, this great flow of experiencing that is going on, it's the attention which gets diverted into this. And this is what happens. When the attention gets diverted into this, it's getting diverted into a dream. I'm reminded of a time where I was trying to develop the ability to lucid dream, to dream lucidly. With little success, I should add. And one of the techniques was to try and be aware as you're falling asleep. And this is an interesting exercise. It's worth trying this if you don't mind having a few sleepless nights, if you can afford a few sleepless nights. You try and be aware. You lie on your back in your bed, and you try and be aware as your mind drifts off to sleep. And as you start to relax, there's this great flow of images. It's just called the hypnagogic state, although it should be more accurately called the hypnagogic stream. There's a stream of random images going on. And if you can be aware long enough, you see what happens. What happens is the attention focuses on one of these images and it sweeps you along into a dream. I think according to sleep theory, dreaming is supposed to happen sometime after you fall asleep. But I think it happens straight away. It happens straight away. That's what takes you into sleep, a dream. You can see this for yourself, you can observe this for yourself. The attention gets caught up in the momentum of this stream, this hypnagogic stream. And this is what's going on right now. We don't call it a hypnagogic stream. I refer to it as a stream of experiencing. It's stuff happening. We don't want to go into it. We don't want to look into it. Because as soon as we start looking into it, we're caught. We're caught up in a dream of understanding, a dream of making sense of things. This is a dream of body, property and abode, the dream of survival, the dream of defining my boundaries, defining who I am. This is my property. And the dream of feathering my nest. This is abode. And nurturing all the connections and relationships that you have. So this is the dream. And it's a dream we need to get on with. But what we need to do is realise it's a dream. There's always something happening. You cannot get to the point where there is nothing happening. That's only a hypothetical possibility. There is always something happening. It's like a constant light, a constant flow of light. There is no darkness. We could call it a constant dreaming, because the dreaming is awareness in action. As enlightenment practitioners, we have an option. We have an option to wake up and realize the nature of this dreaming. Realize the context of this dreaming. Realize what is holding all of this dreaming. This is what I referred to a while back as the holder of universes. This is what we can realize once again. This is what can be realized once again. Because there isn't anybody realizing it, there's just the realization. So when we're concerned with body, property and abode, then we're caught up in this dualistic world. This dualistic world, this dualistic situation whereby we believe there's this world there and there's me here. This is the duality. But actually, there's only the attention flitting about. That's all there is. The attention going from here to there. The attention is not on something, then it does not exist. This seems objectionably solipsistic to some people. But it's an empirical fact. Right now I can say the moon does not exist. I know it exists for other people. But then again, do these other people exist? I can say these other people don't exist. It exists as an idea, as a memory, as a notion. It is not a reality. Now, I could contradict this at some other point and say the moon does exist. But even then, if the moon is full right in front of me, then it is still an idea. All that's happening is what could be described as a luminous circle, which we've got a lot of stories about. Stories which we validate under the name of scientific understanding. Again, that's all fine. But as enlightenment practitioners, what we're concerned with is the awareness within which this luminous disk arises, and also that awareness within which all the stories we have about this luminous disk arise. This awareness is obviously non-dualistic, because it's not going out. It's not going out from here to there. This awareness is fundamental to being. It's fundamental to a sense of being. And it's important to realize that mind itself, or mind only, is not dualistic, because this means the attention is not projecting outwards. It's resting in itself. Awareness is resting in itself. It's not aware of anything. The stream of experiencing is going on, but the attention is not getting hijacked by it. It's not dragging us in to dream, into sleep. It's not dragging us into sleep.